going on? Hoping everybody's having a good Friday. Ooh, it's Friday. And hope you're ready for the weekend. A lot to talk about in a short period of time. But we're going to get it. We're going to get it done today. Because, baby, we got to talk. We really got to talk. Let me first tell and ask anybody, have they seen the Henry Consulting television commercials? On regular television, the Henry Consulting television commercials. Have you seen them on the air? I think it shames these folks that are criticizing and what the firm itself is trying to do for New Orleans. It gives you some ideas of what they're doing with Bayou Phoenix, some other projects that they've completed, and getting ready to add to the cleanliness of the French Quarter. It's a very good looking commercial. So congratulations to Troy and all the good folks over there at Henry Consulting doing their thing, making Mr. Redbottom shut up. Shut up. By the way, did I say shut up? Shut up. Just shut up. Here's the other thing too. There is a. Let me see if I can bring this up. There is a story. You know, I don't feel bad. Wait a minute. Let me get my birth here and say it right. I don't feel bad because that's who y'all voted for. But y'all know ICE is out here operating bad too in New Orleans. Y'all know that ICE is out here in New Orleans? Let me tell you why. This is the story that I brought up. Workers with the M.R. Pittman Group were detained on May 27th. I don't know. Did that make the news? I don't even know if that would make the news. That was at the Mirabeau Water Gardens construction site. That's in Gentilly. Y'all, that's off of Mirabeau. If you live in that area, general area of Mirabeau, Gentilly, in that area, you know what I'm talking about because they done destroyed that piece of land, digging up the roads and putting pipes down and stuff to make it a whole lot better. Well, guess what they got? They got a whole bunch of immigrants over there working. ICE then went over there and shut it down. In the hours after a Special Investigations Unit of U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement led a raid on the construction site for federally funded New Orleans drainage project, New Orleans began to sound the alarm that the work site for one of its critical infrastructure projects had been hit. On May 27, agents raided the construction site for the Mirabeau Water Garden, a city stormwater management project in Gentilly funded by a grant from the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, that broke ground in late 2023 after years of delays, according to the release from ICE. Agents arrested 15 of the workers on the site who were suspected of being in the country without proper documentation. Conflicting reports from a local immigrants' rights group, which monitors ICE actions around the city, placed the arrest count to about 24. That's 12. There ain't but 3 more to make it 15. According to internal City of New Orleans emails obtained and reviewed by Veritite News shortly after the raid, Lenitra Hanson, director of the city's project delivery unit, notified department heads managing major projects that federal immigration agents had arrested more than 24 people at the site, and you should alert any contractors utilizing undocumented workers. What? Wait a minute. Y'all warning each other now? But I thought that's what y'all wanted. At least one department director took heed. Michael Karam, head of the Department of Parks and Parkways, directed his personnel in his department to let contractors know about the raid so that they could take the appropriate precautions for their employees, given that ICE is now actively working in the city and may be targeting other city sites. Y'all know who they gonna get next? I'm trying not to say it. I really am. I'm trying to be good today. It's Friday. It's good today. If they went out there and got 15 immigrant workers that didn't have their documents at Mirabeau Gardens, and they targeting these contractors that's working for city sites, who they gonna get next? If you had to think about it for a minute, who they gonna get next? You know, I'm terrible. I need to apologize before anybody say it now. I'm apologize. I'm sorry, because it's bad what I'm thinking. Who they gonna get next? No. I'm talking about the immigrants, the Mexicanos, the Mexicans. Who they gonna get next? They gonna get them too.
Tell us, Gerard, who are they going to get?
I'm trying not to say it. I'm trying not to.
I'm going to do my Sam Kinison on you. Say it! Say it!
I'm trying not to say it. I really am trying not to say it, bro.
I double dog dare you.
I'm trying to let the other people say it first. I'm going to let them say it first. 504 582 9422. Who they going to get next? Come on. Y'all can tell me. I'm terrible for this. Boy, I'm terrible. I am terrible for this. Oh, bro, you know, my imagination is like going everywhere, bro.
Come on, say it, bro. Say it.
Unless somebody else calling, yes. I'm maybe
online even saying, just say
Did
it.
I get soft? Did I get soft on this one? I got
soft.
You
got soft.
I got soft. I need to go ahead and say it.
Don't be no punk B.
You really don't know? They gonna get the boys that's on the riding lawnmowers. It's gonna be a high-speed chase on I-10. Here they come, reroute,
Now I see why. Now I see why you didn't want to say it. It's a good thing you can't see it.
I can hear the radio call. Can't you hear the radio call? 10-4, good buddy, we got this going on right here.
Well,
he's on a zero turn.
You guys should see it. If you can't see what he's doing, you should see it on Facebook. Well, you know your nickname is Pablo.
Oh, that is true. But I don't drive a zero turn on the highway. Oh, Lord. I know that's terrible. I told you I needed to apologize before I even did the joke. Y'all next. And you're sitting ducks.
Boy, people, he couldn't talk on the phone. He couldn't talk because he's driving, but he's dropping dimes. He said, man, there's a bunch of them that work for that company with the black garbage trucks with the big IV on the side.
Romali as well. Romali has that contract on the side of the highways cutting the grass.
Uh-huh.
And who you see driving those Those zero-turn lawnmowers.
Say, bro, don't do it again. See, I'm just as wrong for laughing at you.
Here they come. Get up.
You're going to hear him yell, La Migra!
La Migra. What? Negra. No.
Man, all I can say is thank God it's Friday.
But you know that's what's going to happen. You know that's what's going to happen. They going to be next. Sometimes you got to make it a joke just to tell you how crazy times are right now. And then who? Then they're going to start going to the hotels. Watch them start going to the hotels. Because if they have a quota that they have to get to every day, they're going to do it. Because the quota, from what we've heard, that the quota is 3,000 a day. And if they getting 3,000 folks a day, y'all know they coming in here. And we are a sanctuary city. And look, and starting August 1st, it's a law now that even though I may have you in the jail, you might have been arrested and in jail, they can come in, check your status. And if your status is not what they are, they can deport you. If your status is not what it's supposed to be, they can come into jail, get you out of there, and deport you. That's as of August 1st. So get ready. And look on side the road. Y'all know those zero-turn lawnmowers? That's why I keep saying zero-turn. Who you see driving those? Barely us. Barely. They're the ones that's working for these companies that have the contracts with the state. And they get out there and they do that. What you say, Mr. Elmo?
Hey, buddy, how you doing, man?
Good. How you doing?
Pretty good. I listened to a program on MSNBC, Deal with Business, and the economist, in terms on not just with the economy, but like the job situation, the tariffs and all. And he said that Americans and even Trump don't have a clue. He said because when you look at the farms in the United States of America, your agricultural industries that produce meats, poultry, hotel, motel industries. That's a lot of people. That's over 40% of folks that's documented and undocumented. So you open up a can of worms. I mean, please forgive me. There's no saying you what you want and what you get, and you get what you ask for, and you may not necessarily like it. And I think what this dude is doing, Trump. I mean, it's gonna really blow up because I don't know how those like Tyson's and the Smiths meat packing plants all over the big meat packing plants all over
Mississippi and Texas,
all over those meat packing all those meat packing plants all over the United States, and you start taking those folks that's scrutinizing whether document, you open the can of worms. The guy said, he laughed. He said, it's not funny, man. He said, but how many Americans don't want those jobs? And if Americans do those jobs, you ain't gonna pay them what you pay those documented workers.
Mm-hmm. And then he said all of fruits and vegetables in California and stuff, they sitting in the they just sitting in the fields because they can't get enough people to come out there and work anymore because they're scared.
But Gerard, you talk about I've heard you talk or have various discussions on what we're talking about, and I'm just trying to figure out, man, for the life of me. I hate to stereotype white folks, but white folks, I'm trying to figure out what planet are they on when you've been having folks like that before me and you were born. I'm 73 years old, and you have folks undocumented, documented, and they've been here generations, man, and they're raising their families here and all. And all of a sudden, you want to leave when you know you had to come with some type of policy to make them legal. So I just don't understand it. All of a sudden, someone kick everybody out. They had a young man. It was the show just on CNN. Here's a young man, Hispanic kid. And what's so sad about Americans? We think everybody that looks like what we consider Hispanic is undocumented, or they don't have, they're not citizens. They have generations of Hispanics as citizens that's been here.
Mm-hmm.
And he stereotyped this kid. Just imagine some of us that look like them. You follow me? If you see me, you see Elmore. You look like them. And are you American citizen? Boy, show me your identification, dude. All I got is ID, a driver's license. I ain't got no proof. I mean, how about you want me to go back when generations of my people was born and raised in New Orleans? Man, give me a break, man.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, New Orleanians look different anyway. I mean, we just have many different bloodlines. This is an area where I would call a gumbo.
Look, I had people that look like you, look like me, and everybody else, and you could see you from any part of the world, and I would believe you.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So it's sad, Gerard.
Yep, but get ready, cause it's happening.
So no, well, wait. Now, I want an opinion on this because for what I'm reading out, it looks like the mega, please forgive me, the followers of Trump, disciples, if you will, like this governor we have. It looks like he's trying to not put the hammer on maybe New Orleans because of Republican state.
Yeah, they are.
But I'm not going to say he won't, huh?
They are. They may not be doing the whole state, but they get into New Orleans.
Oh, but listen, now, come on. I'm laughing, man. That's funny. New Orleans, Baton Rouge, or St. John Baptist, we have Lodge. Well, I'm telling you who they're going to hit bad. Kenner. Because Kenner has I think Kenner, per capita of Jefferson Parish, had the largest Hispanic South American communities in any place in the state.
What's the street over there in Kenner behind the Walmart?
Oh, my God. I don't have a clue, brother.
You ever been down there?
Oh, man, it's been a while, bro.
Nothing but Hispanics. So if they really wanted to get them, all they had to do is drive that street.
They canceled the Spanish festival.
I mean, look, Gerard, you talk about New Orleans East. Now look at New Orleans East. Do you realize, I looked at the stores that they have run by Hispanics, owned by Hispanics. I said, you got to be kidding me. I've counted about 5 stores that sell Hispanic products. And I said to myself, now here it is, I don't see one African American store I can cater to that I know of. There's a few. But I said, now look how quick they have grown. Profiting, I mean, you got to give them some credit. I mean, most of the people that did work for New Orleans after Katrina was Hispanics.
Came from everywhere.
I mean, let's face it. I couldn't find.
And what they do, they call them disaster chasers because. And what they do, they call them disaster chasers because these disaster companies keep their information on file. So whenever they have to go to floods, when it came to Katrina, because I was also working with the disaster mitigation folks. You should have seen how many folks were coming from all the different countries.
Well, Gerard, Gerard, I've been all over the world. I know how to talk to people. You have peeped me out more than one time how to communicate. I know how to communicate with folk. I don't look down or up on people. But I have noticed Hispanics that I had professional encounters with, they don't really talk to you unless they may have a job. They're not that friendly at all. I mean, of all people I've spoken with from different other countries, they're friendly. They don't. Now, I've heard this comment was said, Elmer, you need to understand. They don't know who you are. Mm-hmm. They're scared of what's going on right now, even more, thinking you can report them, I said, that could be true. I said, but they're not friendly.
Wow.
And I don't think, and one of your brothers I listened to, I can't think of his name, and I concur if you listen to what he said. They don't care for us, don't like us. To be honest with you.
Oh, well.
and I'm not saying I'm not gonna like them, but I noticed they're not as friendly as you would think when they cater to the African American community in terms of work.
Yeah. All right. Well, Mr. Elmo, let me take my break. I got to do
All right,
that
brother.
now.
Nice talking to you. 'Cause I ain't talked to you in a while, so I figured let me give you a call.
Same here, buddy. Have a good weekend.
All right, brother. Have a nice one, buddy. Have a nice weekend.
You too. All right, we'll take a break here. We'll come back. We'll have some more conversation in just a minute, y'all. Everybody, hold tight. It's hot outside, too. It's hot. Well, coming up. Everybody, hold tight.
Norman Robinson is back.
Can you hear me now?
And he's taking no prisoners.
Can you hear me now?
Each weekday, Norman Robinson brings you commentary with Off the Top.
The incident was shocking, disturbing, disgusting, disappointing, and sad.
Each weekday, Off the Top with Norman Robinson is heard exclusively right here.
It's Off the Top with Norman Robinson on WBOK 1230 AM.
NOLA Public Schools is excited for the rest of this 24-25 school year journey with our families, watching our students dive into learning, growth, and success. As the school year continues, our dedicated educators are focused on keeping every student engaged and motivated. Let's keep embracing new challenges, celebrating achievements, and supporting each other to make the rest of this year even more impactful. Stay connected with your school and NOLA PS through our social media channels for updates and resources. We're here to help our scholars attend today, achieve tomorrow.
Do you know what United Way can do for you and your community? Find out by listening to United Way and You every Thursday at noon on WBOK 1230. United Way continues to fight for the most vulnerable members of the community. Find out how this Thursday and every Thursday at noon.
Hello, I'm Gary Clark. Please tune in to Dr. Clark 101, The Living Classroom, which is broadcasted weekly every Wednesday at 12:30 p.m. on WBOK 1230 AM on your dial. And as always, it's been a pleasure.
New Schools for New Orleans is committed to keeping and finding great teachers for our students in Orleans Parish. If you or someone you know is interested in becoming a teacher for the 25-26 school year, let us help you. We've created the New Orleans Teacher Job Board, which is the official job platform of public schools in New Orleans. You can apply to any school in the city. Simply post your resume and provide information about yourself. Visit our website to learn more and apply. www.neworleansteacherjobboard.org.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. It is Friday. Woo woo. Hot outside, too. So if you have not been outside and you don't have to go outside, I suggest stay in the air conditioning. But we got a lot of folks that like to go outside when it's hot. This is a different type of heat down here in New Orleans, boy, I got to tell you. All right, Mr. Bill.
Good afternoon.
What's going on with you?
About 2 Tuesdays ago when I spoke with you and you'd asked me a question, but I couldn't get out what I wanted to because I was thinking there may be a number of individuals who may think I'm looking at this or projecting too harshly or too far in advance. When Trump decided that he was going to send ICE agents to various Democratic cities, states, and what have you, all I could see was he was hoping for just flat-out rowdyism carrying on so he can call for martial law. Now, he's getting breaks by the courts now. He got a break with the National Guard in L.A. He can handle them, and it's still kind of back and forth with that in a little bit. But Donald Trump is looking for a reason to call for martial law.
They're looking for a fight.
So, so he can, now he already has a number of judges pissed off. He's got the Supreme Court pretty much in his back pocket, and he's getting away with stuff. To institute martial law, he'll be able to do what the hell he wanted to do.
Right. Yep.
And it would, I don't know what would be the situation for this country and so forth. After that, I just don't know.
I really think that the country in itself has shown that they are tired of the dictator and don't want to take part in those games
It's
anymore.
crap. Yeah.
But the leadership, I think, has got to change. And we can't wait until the midterms come because we know it's going to change back, hopefully, in our favor.
Now, that's the catch. If things go to the point where he can, in his mind, even if it's not necessary, to determine martial law, he can cancel midterm.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm really afraid of.
Mm.
But folks are back, they're demonstrating, they're protesting,
right,
and trying to maintain their cool. And that's what I hope continues.
Because they said this had to be one of the biggest protests that the nation has ever seen. Over 5 million people.
Oh yeah, nationwide.
Nationwide were protesting.
No one will stand a chance. That's from Hispanics to black folks to you could just be picked up and hell, you might find yourself in Timbuktu.
Right, and that's almost kidnapping and a couple other things. The terminology they call it kidnapping. I know that they called trafficking.
Yes,
they call it trafficking.
I wonder how many of those ICE agents running around out there with masks. I wonder how many of those guys were involved in the insurrection.
That's a good question.
Masked up, hiding their identity for a number of reasons, but mainly a lot of those guys lost their jobs when they were found out and in court and spent time in jail and so forth.
Right.
And I think Trump and his boys have gone out there and hired some up. There was a woman somewhere, I can't remember where, but she was erecting domiciles, little homes for those people.
So, do you think that we are in the middle or the beginning of an uprising where we're getting ready to see a coup? People are so tired that they will form their own opposition party, military opposition party.
We may have to. Now, how can we fight against
the United States,
the U.S. Marines?
I'm trying to think. There's a movie that I saw. I forgot the name of it, but it was like them, the army, the president of the United States ruling the army, and then there were the folks that were against them, and I mean they were ready to fight to the death, and they were.
Yeah. Folks
against their own people, which is, in our time, I'm not even talking about the movie now, I'm talking about our time. I really don't think, and I have to have this thought pattern that something like that wouldn't happen because we would then be against posse comitatus. But as I look at it, we are already against posse comitatus. And
that
that's
means
scary.
Nothing to Donald Trump.
Huh?
Absolutely. Posse comitatus means absolutely nothing to Donald Trump.
Yeah.
There are a number of us that are walking around with 9mm, 357s, and AR-15s.
And don't forget your 380s. Don't forget your 380s.
Say again?
Don't forget your 380s tucked in your waistband.
And waistband, yeah. Oh boy,
I got mine.
I don't know how. The survival rate will be very low.
Let me tell you, and don't think this is just national attention with people crazy walking up to you saying any and everything.
Yeah.
We basically have to hide. We have to have at a position where, with the sheriff, we got to have security. Because folks crazy just walk up to you and say any damn thing. We don't know what you're going to do or what you're going to say because of, I think, news just emboldening it in your mind over and over and over again, and you just basically believe what you see.
The woman that was killed and her husband, the representative.
Right.
He shot 2 other people, but
they survived.
Didn't go down.
Killed the dog, though.
Killed the dog as well, yes. Representatives, political people are receiving
death
pizzas,
threats.
just letting them know that I know where you live.
Yep.
I have your address.
Well, you know what they're doing now? To show them that they have their address, they are sending pizzas to their home address. Letting them know that we know where you live. Here's a pizza. Now, me, because I'm greedy like that, I've been like, thank you. Know what we having for dinner tonight.
And hope you can make it on the next night.
There you go. All right, Mr. Bill.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate
you much. I'll talk to you in a minute. All
Good
right,
night.
Darren.
Yeah, good afternoon. How everybody doing? You're talking about the illegal immigrants. They're all over the place. A lot of them working in them hotels now.
Yeah.
They on the back of IV trucks through the 7, 8, 9 wall in the quarters. And, where you was talking about behind
the Walmart
in Kenner.
Yep.
I think that street is Giuliani Boulevard.
Is it?
There's
I
a bunch
think
of them
somebody
back
else
up in
told me
that
that
area.
is it? Wait a minute. Somebody said it's up here too. He said Loyola Avenue.
Yeah, West Loyola Drive, and they got East Loyola Drive.
Mm-hmm.
So they all over. And you go to these ideal markets, especially the one on Broad Street, all of them are immigrants.
So I didn't know that there was such a big, I guess, neighborhood of immigrants in Kenner until I got lost one day and I had to turn around and I ended up on that street. And I was like, holy cow. It's from one end to the other.
I used to work back out that way around Kenner area. It's been back there. Whole bunch of apartments.
So I guess my question is, and maybe I'm not saying this right, and I hope that nobody takes this wrong. But if I wanted to get immigrants or get the folks that I need to check to see if their documentation's up to par, why wouldn't I start there instead of going to a work site?
Yeah, they can do that.
Because evidently it's no secret that's where they are. There's no secret that they got a whole street of
Home Depot and Lowe's. They sit down there every day hustling for work.
Yeah, well, they did I think the Home Depot in Los Angeles, they spent a whole day out there getting them. So, yeah, well. All right, Darren. Thank you, my brother.
All right.
I appreciate it. Cedric.
Hey, man.
What's going on, Big Money?
Oh, you got it. I just want to know where's the Democratic Party in terms of being in these streets, making atonement, asking people, trying to repair the damage that's there for the midterm elections. And if you're not going to start today, when you going to start? During the midterm elections when it's too late? Because right now, the only choice or the only thing that we have is for somebody to motivate somebody, for black people, for black preachers, for black politicians to motivate. And right now, what you hear with people in reference to the Democratic Party is they're disenchanted with it. I understand we don't have much of a choice, but if a man or a woman is feeling that way, don't you think it's important to change their feelings? It's like when you have an argument with your friend or with your spouse, somebody has to be like, yo, look, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Otherwise, we're going to be just chasing our own tails. Because today it may be the immigrants, but tomorrow, gee, it's us.
Yeah. Now, I agree with that part, but the question I had with what your conversation piece is about is, are we supposed to? Is the Democratic Party tried to tell you. I mean, they still playing the vice president's speech saying this is what he said he was going to do. And he's doing it. He said he was going to do this. He said he was going to do that. And if he said he's going to do it, you better believe it. What's wrong with y'all?
Gerard, the Democratic Party did say that. We can even go far back to when Mrs. Hillary Clinton, lost to him. They did say it, but the Democratic Party said that, but they still did not repair the damage that they've done to black people, and this is why we have so many independent members in this party, so many independent voters. So you told us this was going to happen, but you did not atone for what you've done wrong to black people. So how do we repair this? And once we figure this out, then midterm elections will not be a problem here in Louisiana, but also in America.
Yeah, but wait for a minute. I need to get this from you because I'm hearing you, but I want to make sure I got it right. You think that the party is going to go back and say, oh, black people, we sorry? They ain't never done that, Cedric. Never.
Hey, I understand what they've never done, but right now we all are suffering. Something dramatic, something has to happen. Now we know God ain't coming on a mount in a burning bush. So, something has to happen.
Well, somebody's smoking
something.
Something
has to happen, man.
Somebody's smoking something.
Something has to happen because guess what? They're suffering too.
Yeah, they the ones that we told. Hey, look, this is what he said he's gonna do. If he told you he's gonna do it, you need to believe him. It's in writing.
Right, but I understand what you're saying. I'm not concentrating on the immigrants. I'm worried about us.
I think that we got to be able to take care of us because ain't nobody else taking care of us. Ain't nobody been taking care of us, including the party. Party ain't taking care of us. We've been used.
And that's where I'm at. How can that be shifted? Where is that a concern of the Democratic Party? If the Democratic Party makes that a concern, then the healing and mending can begin.
I understand that, but what I'm trying to tell you that has never happened. Why would you think that the party is ever going to do something like that? The only time that you've seen for black folks that the party has been concerned is when they need a section of voters that they can't get no other time to win whatever battle it was. I think the last time I really paid attention to coming after the black voters that are Democrats was when they needed those votes to be able to save the auto industry. And that was during Obama's turn.
Gerard,
his turn.
You say that'll never happen, but I believe in our lifetime, and I'm 52, we've never been in this situation. And it's only going to get worse.
All right.
So somebody better start saying some kumbayas, something. Otherwise, it's going to get worse. And what's happening to our immigrant brothers and sisters is surely going to start happening to us.
Mm-hmm.
Because making America great again is making us second line back on that plantation.
And that's the biggest problem right there. We still second lining.
Hey.
Okay.
Nevertheless, man, and what's sad is we don't have a Dr. King. We don't have a Malcolm X. We don't have a Mrs. Aretha Haley. We don't have a Dr. May Taylor that'll take the gavel and hit a J.P. Morrell in his face. We don't have that. We don't have preachers that are willing to just fill in the gap.
Yeah.
Anyway, man, you have a good weekend.
Appreciate you,
we
brother.
better wake
you
up.
Too. All right, man. Talk to you in a minute, Sid. Javernia.
Hey, Gerard. How you doing?
What's going on with you?
One, I grew up in Kenner, so yes, there has always been on that side, right off of Veterans, Loyola. That's been Little Spanish Town for years.
Veterans, Loyola, and also Williams, right?
Mm-hmm. And also, I have a friend who's got kids at Bonneville. They say ICE has been over there like crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, Bonneville?
Yes. Bonneville, the high school. Yes.
Wow.
Because if you detain the children, what
Parents
happens?
Gonna come.
Parents have to show up.
Yep.
So they've got it planned out. Secondly, the gentleman that just got off the line, he's got a good point. However, what he's missing, we're already under attack. What do you think the prison population is about?
Right.
You know, that's been going on since the 80s.
And we're the ones filling up the jails.
Exactly. It's been flowing into that. So if you need people to go pick crops, guess what? Hire them out from these not public jails, but these privatized jail systems.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's going to start happening. So that's one. I mean, that's two. Number three, I was in the military. There's this thing about an unlawful order. Why do you think he was so adamant about putting an idiot in to head the Department of Defense? Because now you get rid of people who will stand up and tell the president, no, that's an unlawful order based on the Constitution. We don't serve the president, we serve the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
But now you got this idiot running the Department of Defense that's going to be like, oh, no, you're fired. We're going to get somebody else in there to take your place.
Right.
So there is no protection. But if the enlisted or the officers, in line say, hey, no, that's an unlawful order, we're not doing it, they can do that. Of course, they'll get arrested, but they can do it.
So let me ask you, Bernie, if you use your mind for a moment here, we're going to put your whole mind on point here. How do we fix this issue of ICE? Because what is to come seems to be the topic of conversation amongst black folks, because we're seeing what's happening to our other brothers and sisters that have a little melanin in their skin. But what happens when they're done with that era of folks? Are they coming after us? And what would be, what would be their cause to be able to do so, especially when you have folks that have born here in America, no matter if they're black or any other nationality?
Well, they never rescinded that issue in the Constitution, where we're still, 3/4 of a person.
Mm-hmm.
So,
is that coming up this year?
It needs to. It needs to. Because all of these decades and have passed, centuries have passed, and that's never been addressed.
Right.
So now you're looking at what's happening because the immigrants, quote unquote, are undocumented, so now they have to go. Well, nobody's talking about the immigrants that are of a Caucasoid nature.
Right.
Because a lot of them are starting to come in now, but not a single word is said about them because they're coming through New York,
New York.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see.
So
they're coming from
what I see. I see, like I said before, we're gonna the driving while brown or black, the walking while black, all of that stuff is gonna pick up.
Yeah.
Because the more people they get into the privatized prison system, the more workers they have that they don't have to pay anything.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So yeah, get
Cents
ready.
on the dollar.
It's coming. It's coming. Yeah, it don't matter how good a person you are, wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah.
You on a farm line.
Yeah. All right, Javerny. Always good to hear from you, my brother.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
Talk to you later. All right, y'all. We'll take a break here. We got more coming up, y'all. Everybody hold tight.
Hey, this is Dave Poston. Be sure to listen to WBOK 1230 AM every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. and Sunday evening at 5 p.m., bringing you the best Southern Soul barroom music with the Southern Soul Weekend Party Mix, hosted by me, of course. I'll be playing your favorite Southern Soul music by artists from all over the South, right here on WBOK 1230 AM or online at WBOK1230.com. The station you listen to longer. Listen to longer. Listen to longer.
Hi, this is Cary Grant. Let's elevate every Tuesday through Thursday from 6 to 7 p.m. as we discuss the community, the country, and the world, from politics to current events and sports. We look forward to your input and continuing the quality programming on your community station, WBOK. Join us every Tuesday through Thursday, 6 to 7 p.m. on Elevated Conversations, the Arnie and Cary Show.
WBOK and LCMC Health are proud to present Keeping You Well Cafe, 60 Minutes with LCMC Health, where the doctors speak directly to the people of New Orleans. LCMC Health is committed to improving the quality of care here in New Orleans, the Gulf South, and beyond. The Keeping You Well Cafe is another way for LCMC Health to engage with the community. At the Keeping You Well Cafe, LCMC Health joins WBOK and local businesses to answer your questions about wellness and health.
Visit DePaul's new Algiers Health Center at 2801 General de Gaulle Drive to receive primary and preventive care for both adults and children. Services also include behavioral health, imaging, and on-site pharmacy, vision, Medicaid enrollment assistance, and more. For appointments, visit DePaulCommunityHealthCenters.org or call 504-207-3060.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify.
Uptown, downtown. Wherever you are, keep it locked in to WBOK.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. It's Friday. Yes, indeed. Reverend Wallace, what you say?
Hey, big brother. Hey, uncle. How you doing?
What you going? What you doing? What you doing?
Nothing, bro. I'm just glad to hear your voice again. You know, and it's good to hear you still out in the airways. You're the prophet. You're still speaking. And you gave the warning with Project 25. Kamala Harris gave an understanding about what was going to take place. Spanish people, white women, few Negroes went out there and voted for Donald Trump. It is what it is. And it's going to be what it's going to be until they get out of there. So, saddle up, buckle down, enjoy the damn ride.
And I don't think it's going to be too much of a joyful ride. I don't think that's going to be too much of a joyful ride. So,
well, for those that had a dream that he was going to do so much for him, and they didn't see a black woman being president, couldn't see a woman being president. Well, hey, enjoy what you got right there. Anytime a man could say he's going to give you $1,000 to just come in, and then you can get your flight anywhere you want out of America. Immigrants. They need to tell the damn Statue of Liberty down. I hope I can get the medal. I'll probably be all right after that. But you know, it ain't the black preacher, ain't the Democratic Party. It's start on the local level. We not engaged.
You don't think it's black preachers?
I don't think it's a black preacher. I ain't putting no skirt. They're preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ. They saving soul. Jesus said you're going to have the poor with you always. You're going to have suffering. You're going to have all kind of plagues and pestilence. And these days, people have their desire to do what they want because they could do it. I mean, Donald Trump doing what Donald Trump do. He's a prolific liar. We know he's a liar. And why would we take anything face value at his hand? He's a bluffer. He's a bully.
So I think more so,
it is what it is.
The Rev, and I want you to comment on this. I think more so is anytime you look in history, when there has been a black movement that has happened in our time, and even prior to us, has always been a leadership that had some type of pastor, black leadership.
Always, black church been the strength of the black community.
Yes.
Always, and will always be the voice of the community.
But
this
it
is what I
doesn't
want to say.
seem
We
that
don't
way
get
now.
mad until we get kicked right at the end of the plank and we get ready to kick off the planet. That's when we get mad. We didn't get mad about the police and all that stuff. George Floyd. We can make a difference. We can make a difference. We spending our money everywhere except our own community. I ain't mad about when the people come in the community and set up. Some of us don't want to spend it with each other, man. I can go on and on. You all, half of these black folks talking that stuff ain't doing a damn thing in the community for nobody.
So why? What happened? What happened to that? What happened to that word? That believe in you? Am I my brother's keeper?
We're not assisting. We're not following the pattern. Our great-grandfather, grandmothers, and aunties
But that's
and
what
uncles,
I'm trying to get
they
to.
stayed in the community and worked in the community. They structured themselves in the community. They worked their education system in the community. They were involved. They had relationships in the community. We got people come from everywhere and anywhere and teach our children.
So that one word, even though that you made that whole dissertation, I'm with you. But that one word that I asked you is why.
Why?
What happened?
Because we're not ready to make the sacrifice, Rock. We talk it, but we don't walk it. We ain't gonna put see what they're doing? They set their money in motion to get what they got today. That's why you got 5 or 6 Republicans representing the state in Louisiana, because the Democratic Party have not really took a chance. We'll run 20 of us in one race in the black community, and they have 50 seats over there. We'll run against each other. And that's what we've been doing. We won't take a chance running for the lieutenant governor. We won't chance running for the secretary of state. We won't take, we just don't, we don't support each other as much as we should. And people have got so immune and disgusted with the political structure of Louisiana, especially the Democratic Party and any other party, because they're not doing nothing for these people. These young people have lost all the respect for what they call politics. It's not advancing people. You got a governor spend $16 million to put people over in New Orleans East till after the Super Bowl. And this lady going to get on and say she get ready to get rid of the homeless under the bridge. Well, where's she been at lately? You did the program on the 16th. Ain't nobody was mad about that. Ain't nothing been said about that.
Nope.
We got all these organizations from all over Mandeville and other ways. We got all the black churches in the community got do home outreach. They're not getting that money. You got organizations like Salvation Army and all these other organizations. These people that's a business. They ain't got no reaching for humanity. They making money.
So making money is what everybody's trying to do. But I guess my question is, who changes it?
Arthur Hunter gonna change it.
You with Arthur, huh?
I just threw his name out there by accident.
No, you ain't throw it out there by accident. You did that
intentionally. I'm a
intentionally.
Baptist preacher. Excuse me, I went off the wrong way.
Yes, you did. You sure did. But I'm just trying to see. Are we looking at it for a politician to change it? Is it going to be a preacher or a church to change it?
No.
Or does there have to be a community?
It's going to be a cohesive approach from all of our leaders in the community, black leaders. We need to sit down like Dutch and all of them did. They had the roulette system. They didn't let people just jump in the front of the line. You have to work in the community to get to be advanced in these seats. We got people don't do a damn thing and won't be at the top of the mountain. They ain't never did nothing in the community.
Right.
How do you going to represent somebody? You ain't never been through the fray of nothing. You ain't never been under the pressure. And when they get in office, what they do? They cave under the pressure. I could tell you about 10 of them right now, but I'm not going to do that. That's another story. We'll talk about that later.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
God bless you. Good to hear your voice.
Same here.
And send my doggone poke job.
I know you want your poke chops. Goodbye.
All right.
I'll talk to you later. All right. Robert.
Yes, sir. Thank you for taking my call. Good evening, folks. Even the ones like me and don't like, I say good evening to you as well. Reverend got a point there, but one of the things, I just did a survey, and I do have it. I asked our young folks from 40 on down, would you rather hear the Negro National Anthem and lift every voice in it sing? So I don't like neither one of them, and I'm going to leave it at that. We have to talk to history to our folks. There's an incident that happened yesterday in Mandeville, Louisiana. Our young folks went over there to this certain recreation area, and they did them like dogs because we went over there. And one of the things that's going on with us, they say the politicians is not the problem, it's us.
What happened?
Well, they did them. They got them. The stuff was ragged. They got damaged, scratched up skin, burnt skin, all that. The lady dogged them out, took their money, put them out. Of course, she called up police and scared them up. And they get left their money, got out of there. But you run into them folks' house. All they want is your money, no respect whatsoever. And this is common trait. This is common trait. It's caught with the corner stores to everything else. We break our neck to get to them, but we need to understand, go back to 1920 and look how they dealt with us. We got the same model right now in our community. Right now, got the same model.
I know you know, I really can't blame them folks over there when we know 12 months in advance that we got a summer program for kids to be able to get a job. And those kids are looking forward to getting into the work group. I'm talking about in New Orleans. And then to hear every year for the last couple of years that there's a malfunction with paying them their money. It didn't happen again this year. That we can't pay the kids that are doing summer jobs. I'm like, what in the world? What did we learn from the last time that it happened? That it happened again. That we now making excuses and apologies for these kids that can't get. If you want to deter me from doing something, mess with my money. Mess with my family. Mess with my money. You either gonna get an ass whipping or a cussing out, and don't think you won't get both.
So you ready for this, Gerard? I'm going behind the curtain, and if you need me, I can have some of the kids call you right now.
No, I already know. I'm not gonna get the kids on here just using that to patronize them. I already know that the system's messed up, and I hope that everybody understands. They ain't Larry Barabino neither. That is not him in Norway. That's the city of New Orleans. That's the city of New Orleans. How in the world do we have the same thing happening again that we can't pay these kids? It happened last year.
I got kids worrying about graduating and passing to the next level, and they shut down the summer job opportunity April the 15th. I got kids at Warren Easton all around the school. They worried about getting their thing done, and they shut this thing down. And how many times was it advertised? Did anybody call the station and tell me that they told you this is the last day to apply for summer youth employment in the city of New Orleans? It didn't happen, Gerard. I got 5 young men worried about getting out of high school, and you march in April. That's what you have to do.
Right.
You have to get your prime stuff, your budget, all that's done, and they're concentrating on their grades and going to college, and nobody knew that this thing had a cutoff date. Nobody.
I just don't understand.
If you look at it,
I really don't understand it.
They don't say nothing about it. It's almost the same hookup people that know. They know the stuff and don't tell. And I'm saying it. I feel very disgruntled about it because we got some kids to say, I tell you what, let's look at the study, see how many kids that's working this summer that to work previous summer. We're talking about Hookup USA. Ask the young folks right now. I could have about 10 of them call you. They knew nothing about the cutoff date.
Right.
They knew nothing about it. Nobody told them. That's another thing that's really upset me because I got young folks now would love to work. They didn't know about the summer employment.
Well, I don't want them to work for free. Get them.
No, me either. But still, let's look at the numbers of who working those summer jobs. And I guarantee they're veterans, at least 2 or 3 years.
Wow.
That's another deal. We got to bring it out there.
All right,
Thank you,
Ronald.
Gerard. Keep up the good work.
I'll talk to you in a bit, brother. Thanks for the call.
All right.
All right, more coming up, y'all.
From the campus of Xavier University, WBOK Go and Equity Media Station.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Overdose deaths are down across Kentucky with a 30% drop statewide over the past year. Governor Beshear says the decline includes a 37% decrease among black communities. Health officials credit the progress to educational outreach and wider access to Narcan, a medication that reverses opioid overdoses. Chris Brown has pleaded not guilty to a 2023 assault charge in the UK, accused of hitting a music producer with a tequila bottle. His trial is set for October 26th. He must live at a UK address while awaiting trial, but can travel for his world tour. And a new monument in Lexington, Kentucky honors Lewis and Harriet Hayden, 2 former slaves who played key roles in the Underground Railroad. The Towards Freedom sculpture, created by artist Basil Watson, celebrates their fight for independence and the legacy of freedom seekers across Kentucky. It's now on display at the Lexington Traditional Magnet School. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Well, when I heard that yesterday, I was like, wait a minute. Y'all trying to tell me the kids didn't get paid? So they put a memo out today. I don't know if y'all, I'll read it to you. They put a memo out. A memo?
It's not just the kids either. It's the adults too.
It's not the kids at all.
Yeah, there's one lady was talking about.
Oh,
she has 4
you talking about they not getting paid?
Yeah.
So, I just gotten to the point now where I'm like, we go through the same thing every summer. Every summer, we're going through the same thing. Oh, did y'all hear the kids didn't get paid through Job 1? They did that. So I'm sitting here and say, I'm just saying to myself, I'm like, we got so much other stuff. Please don't tell me that it's the system again, that so-called system that your mayor, former mayor Landrieu, bought that's supposed to make things slim generated, and they ain't know how to use it. Y'all know that, right? They ain't know how to use it. So you trying to tell me that y'all didn't try to run a test, like a test printing of the people's checks? Y'all don't have the numbers? So the CAO then put out a memo that ain't tell me duty squad. That's duty squad. It ain't tell me nothing. I'm gonna read the what you call it to you. So nope, I did not blame Larry Barabino on this one at all. Here it is. This comes from the city of New Orleans. I was so disappointed. I was like, again? We going through this again? What's the old saying? If you do the same thing over and over and over again, you're looking, you call it something else, but I call it chaos. I just call it chaos. All right, here we go. Let me read it to you. This comes from the city of New Orleans in their issue of a statement. It says the city of New Orleans sincerely apologizes to the New Orleans Recreation Department Commission, their seasonal employees who have been impacted by this payroll issue. Nord appreciates the dedication of these employees and their patience regarding this matter. The city is working diligently to resolve this payroll issue that is impacting Nord as soon as possible to get these employees paid. Again, we offer our apologies and thank these employees for their patience. That's the statement. What does that mean? What does that mean? You apologizing? Like you put that out? Did you put out another one that says we got it fixed? Because it would have to be all hands on deck. This is every year. This is every year. All I can do is cross my arms. And who takes the hit on this one? Is this a TD hit? Is this a CAO hit? Who takes the hit? Y'all trying to tell me that? I just can't believe. I'm sorry. I just can't believe that nobody ran like a print test. Let's take the names and let's print up some checks and just make sure that they are going to go through correctly. Y'all didn't print up nothing in advance? Y'all didn't do no test run? Nothing? Nobody said, come on, let's try this puppy out. Find out what the flaws are. What y'all learned from last year? Evidently not a damn thing. Did the people that do the printing of the checks, did they change? Did they not go to no type of training? Because I can tell you who's gonna get paid on time. I would make this a stickler in this whole process. Until this matter gets fixed, the CAO, the mayor, and all those in command at City Hall, the top tier, will not be paid as well. What? The CAO, mayor, all those in the top tier of the administration would not get paid at all until this matter gets fixed. You all have had ample time, and I know somebody's like, "Oh Lord, you talking to Dede?" Mm-hmm. I think that this administration has had ample time, including city council too. Mr. Red Bottoms, you so worried about the Pentalba and IV Waste. Everybody, put your paychecks to the side till you get this matter fixed. You want to overstep your bounds as far as contracting is concerned and who's doing what? That's a good one for you to overstep your bounds on this one and get the damn checks printed for the kids at Nord. How about that? I don't hear nobody saying we not have a meeting about this one. Call them to the commission, Eugene. Call them to the dais. Make them sit there and hear our questions. Call them and see what happened and how did you get it fixed. And every year before Job 1 starts, somebody please write it down, put it on the chalkboard somewhere, permanent ink. Check the printing of the checks. Check the checks. Make sure that these kids get their checks printed on time. How about that, Mr. and Mrs. Mann? And y'all wonder how the good folks end up leaving you when you have so much more to offer. You wonder why they get up and leave. You're messing with my money. But I do think it is that time of the year where everybody has got to focus. What's the focus? The focus should be the kids. The focus should be the kids. I'll call. I ain't gonna do that, but I'm gonna put it out there and throw it in the atmosphere. I'll call Big Duck. Big Duck, get all the kids together and show up at the next council meeting. Fill and overflow the council chambers with the lifeguards, with those kids that are working outside, those kids that are working in these school units, these kids that have taken their time, effort to enroll in summer program jobs that didn't get their check. Make them show up. And instead of them asking questions of you, you ask them the questions. I can guarantee you somebody gonna bust the pressure cooker. Because there's nowhere in the world. Well, let me ask you this. And I really want you all to answer this question. As a grown person, as an adult that may hold a title, if you didn't get paid, would you show up for it? If you didn't get paid and somebody made a mistake or couldn't get your checks printed, would you show up for it? Come on now. 504-582-9422. If they gave you an apology that said we had some technical difficulties and we working on this, my sincere apologies, but we're working on it, would you show up for it? As an adult, would you show up for work for free? Because that's what's happening, is for free. All right, 504-582-9422 is the number. Donald.
Hey, G, how you doing today,
Good,
man?
Doctor, how you doing?
When years ago, they had what we call manpower
Mm-hmm.
in Jefferson Parish. And those kids worked from, I say, from June all the way to August, and they got their checks on time.
Yep.
They got the checks on time. They would come to the schools, Jefferson Parish schools. Some would clean up. Some would help cut grass. Some would be in the office.
I worked manpower when I was a kid. I was in the manpower program.
And it was a good program, because what happened, those kids had money to go buy the uniforms.
Mm-hmm.
They had money to do other things. But somebody seen how good that was working for our kids, and they killed that. They killed that. They killed it.
Before it's all over with, I could strip a flow of the wax. I'm serious. That was like almost learning a trade, you know. I could
might have to hire you, G.
Right, I can hold on to that buffer too. So,
but it's you know, we joking and laughing about it, but I can remember every morning those kids would meet us at the school ready to work. We had no problem with those kids. As a matter of fact, the group of kids we had a couple of days before the job would end for them to go to school, we would all put together and have a party for those kids.
Mm-hmm.
We had a party for them. And sometimes we would help buy uniforms for those kids.
Right.
Give them some extra money. All that's gone now. The city of New Orleans.
And it was almost like learning a trade, even though that it was more so for me, janitorial, and I knew that's not what I wanted to do in my future.
Gotcha.
It was a trade for me to be able to learn something, because you never know when you're going to be able to, you know, when you do need it, especially as a man, you know.
Gee, let me tell you something. I've been in the school system now doing what you just mentioned. I told somebody said, boy, you're a janitor. And I said, guess what? In about 6 months, I'm retiring, but you need to keep your job, because I need you to work every day.
Mm-hmm.
I can sit down and get my checks. So what I was telling the kids, man, keep this job, go do better. But for the summertime, those kids look forward to being there in the summertime, G. They look forward to it.
Yep.
They really did. And then they had somebody coming along, making sure they were working, making sure they were at the job.
And that's what we had. We had a supervisor.
That's right.
We had somebody that was there showing us and teaching us how to do what needed to be done. And every day that man would come in. I forgot his name, but he would come in. He would show us how to do it. We would learn how to do it, strip it. If it was wrong, he would go back and redo it. We would end up having to redo some of the floors. But learning all of that, and trust me, when I was working in the school, we were doing the whole school. There wasn't no one or two. You were doing all. We had, I think it was like 75 classrooms.
Yeah, that's in some schools. That's how, and they still do have them. But the thing I really enjoyed about those kids, once they realize that they can make some money and they can go with their friends and buy whatever they want to buy and all that, man, those kids were showing up to work every single day. None of them was being disrespectful. They all would be polite, nice. I mean, we look forward to having it.
Mm-hmm.
We develop a relationship with somebody. Somebody kids see no policemen, and they'll say, Mr. So-and-so, we thank you working in a courthouse and all that. So that summer program that Orleans Parish had, you're hurting the kids. You're hurting the kids.
Yeah.
Stop it. Thank you, G. Appreciate it.
I appreciate you, Donald. Thank you, my brother. All right. Yeah. That Manpower program was a good program. It taught you a trade, let you handle your own money, because, I mean, there's nothing like being a young person and somebody handing you a check that got your name on it. Yeah. They handed you, and the folks with our Manpower program would teach us too, even though that you were working, you were learning a trade, you get paid for doing so. That wasn't all they taught us how to do. They would have a shuttle bus that would come and pick you up, and the banks wanted to have your money in their bank. So they were also teaching you how to open up accounts, whether you wanted to do a savings account, whether you wanted a checking account. They were teaching you along with that. I wonder, do they still have that? Do they still have that? I wonder, do the banks participate? I don't know. We got to take a break. We'll take the break here. We'll come back. WB, hold on. I'm coming back. Gonna have some more conversation with you in just a minute, y'all. Everybody hold tight.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat, brought to you by FidelityWealthManagement.com. Business leaders and entrepreneurs are trying to figure out how to navigate the Trump administration's trade policy. Picky Cole is a longtime successful entrepreneur of color. She has a line of restaurants that sells vegan fast food. And she says her biggest challenge is deciding how to offset operating costs if they go up.
The topic is, do we raise our prices, right? A lot of my products are made in the United States, but ingredients are sourced overseas. So if they raise those prices, then, it'll be more money for me. And then I have to charge my customers more, and that can affect the consumer experience.
Running a business that's largely a discretionary purchase presents a unique challenge. If Cole raises prices, it could lead her customers to go elsewhere and maybe never come back. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Working as a dedicated Fidelity advisor, I always ask, what's important to you? I'll look at those priorities and goals alongside your full financial picture to build a comprehensive plan designed to help grow and protect your wealth. With proactive portfolio insights and an eye on taxes, I'm here to help you make the most of your money. I'm Laura Maxwell, and I'm a dedicated Fidelity advisor. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies to same item. Current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at Lowe's.com/lowest price guarantee.
Hello, friend. Tavis Smiley here with a special announcement. You can catch my show at a new time. Weekdays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Same great topics, same great guests, same great conversations, just a little earlier in the day. It's Tavis Smiley, weekdays 1 to 4 p.m. only on WBOK 1230 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation is the nonprofit organization that owns the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival presented by Shell. With the funds generated from Jazz Fest, the foundation invests in Louisiana companies through economic development, cultural enrichment, and free educational programs. To learn more about what the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation does, please visit www.jazzandheritage.org.
The National World War II Museum. Located in the Warehouse District of New Orleans, the National World War II Museum tells the story of America's experience in the war that changed the world, why it was fought, how it was won, and what it means today. Visit them online at www.nationalww2museum.org for time tickets and safety information.
New Schools for New Orleans wants to wish all of our students, teachers, and administrators a great summer break. Use this break as an opportunity to relax and reflect on all of you've accomplished this year. We can't wait to celebrate your success in the coming months.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks. Welcome back. Gerard Stevens with you. I'll tell you later. I'll tell you later. Oh, boy. It's Friday. You can tell it's Friday. What's going on, WB?
What's up, my brother? Can you hear me well?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing well, my brother. Hey, didn't this same event happen about 2 years ago? I don't think it was last year, but year before last, it's the same issue.
Same issue.
The kids for.
Yep. You correct.
So, all right. So look, to me, this is deplorable.
Yep.
Our kids, we don't pay the kids.
Yep.
That's like the slap in the face. The ultimate. You don't pay the kids, man. So listen, I bet you the administrators got paid.
And that's why I said I'd be naming all the top administrators and saying, until these kids get paid, you don't get paid.
Right. And so also when you make a budget for the summer, you should already have those monies allocated for.
So I think the money is allocated. I think something's wrong with the processing.
Oh Lord, that's even worse.
That's even worse to me, because if that happened once before, and you know there's a possibility that it could happen again, you're trying to tell me that there was nobody to say, hey, let's do a dry run of this to make sure that it doesn't happen again.
Hey, look, I equate this to this. When you go to a drive-thru restaurant and they can't get your order right, I can see if it's the first day open. If it was a grand opening, I could accept that. But if you've been in business for 5 years, you should have no glitches in, we out of burgers, we ran out of meat, that kind of stuff, right? So a procedural thing, or whatever the case might be. But I just think that's really ridiculous. And if I was a parent, if I had one of my children was in that situation, somebody would hear from my attorney, or if they weren't going to pay me late, they're going to pay me with some interest.
With some interest.
I mean,
yep.
I mean, that's the way the world works, right?
That's the way the world works. I mean, hell, if you late paying for some of your necessities every month, like rent or your mortgage, there's a fee that's added to it. Late fees or interest rate fees, whatever it is. You late pay your car note, they charge you an extra fee.
Hey, you want to teach a kid a life lesson? When you pay them back with interest.
There you go.
You know what I mean? That would be a way to compensate for the foolishness.
But they're not going to do that.
You asked a question earlier. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're not going to do that because that would be too much like right.
Right.
You asked a question earlier. Have you ever, as a professional, ever worked for a place that they have your money? Would you go back to work, right?
Yep.
So I've been in two situations. One situation, I know the money was good, right? So I went back to work, and I went back to work on good faith. You got me?
But let me ask you this. Did you get your interest?
No, I didn't get the interest. No, actually, to be honest with you, when I think about it, my guy did look out for me.
Uh-huh.
He did give me something all the time because I knew the money was good. I just knew there was a financial thing within the business, and it didn't prevent me. Mm-hmm. But it was another situation where they told me I wasn't getting paid, and it was all at the same time telling me what time they expected me to be to work on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I said, all right, see you Monday.
See y'all
I
Monday.
Ain't seen people since.
They'll be like, Monday came and you was where? What was you Monday?
I I was doing something else. I was doing something else, and I was making money. But the only time that he did hear from me after that was me pursuing my money because they was figuring like they didn't owe me. I eventually I got it, but it hurt the organization because they needed my quote unquote expertise, and they just thought they was losing money. And as soon as I walked away, it was like, "Oh, Mr. White, we need you here." I was like, "You don't need me."
But
You
see,
know?
not
But
only
anyway,
were they losing money, but they lost your expertise.
there you go. But I just think the saddest thing in the world to me is that they can't pay the kids, man. We don't have, look, it ain't like these kids making $1,500 a week. It can't be nowhere near that. It's got to be
a couple of $100.
You might be able to pay 5 kids, four or 5 kids, and out of $1,600.
Right.
We got to have that money sitting around somewhere.
Right.
Write somebody a cashier's check, a personal check from somebody. Man, look, it's the kids, bro. This is ridiculous.
Somebody should have been writing checks.
Man, I want to write the kids a check. I want to sponsor 2 kids and write them checks. I feel like that right now. You know what I mean?
Right. But somebody should have been writing immediately. If you can't get the checks printed, if you can't get everything done, somebody need to be sitting down with a checkbook or separate checks, business checks.
Right.
Writing those kids checks.
And that's a real world scenario because I remember there was a glitch with direct deposit, and the owners they went to the petty cash. It wasn't the petty cash, but it's a checkbook associated with petty cash, and they wrote everybody checks.
Yep.
The same day.
Yep.
So to not pay and blame it on the glitch kind of look like they don't have the money, which I hate to believe that they don't have the money.
No, I think they got the money.
It's almost like saying screw the kids. You know how they say, F them kids.
Yep. I know what you're
That's
talking
what
about.
it feel like.
But I gotta tell you though, WB, what makes me sad about this is that it didn't happen before.
2 years ago, I remember.
And if it happened before, my question is to the powers that be, what did we learn from the last time this happened? What did we learn? Evidently, not a damn thing.
Yeah, there's a black eye on the administration. I don't know whether we call out the mayor or whomever, or we call out Larry, or we call out the city council. Whoever we need to call out need to be called out on and need to be used against them and they next go round for consideration.
But if I'm one of the kids, I'm asking for an inquiry, and I'm telling all of them, show up at the city council and make that a part of their conversation piece as far as their next city council meeting, because this is your money, and they need to have answers for you.
Man, and I guarantee you, if the kids did that, I'd join them. I would be louder than the kids.
Yep.
And I'd tell them how ridiculous it is. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I'd put it like this. You'll be right there with me.
Yep.
You're that type of guy.
I'd be right there with you.
All right, my brother. I just wanted to chime in.
WB, have a good weekend, my friend. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you,
doctor.
sir. Appreciate it.
All right. Dear Allen, where you been?
Oh, man, I'm everywhere, man. I'm just scrambling all over the place.
Why you sounded tired, bro? I mean, I'm everywhere, bro.
Nah, man, I just had to take care of some things, but I got it almost under control. But again, man, this is horrible, man. I got my start with NARD. Like I said, I've been working for NARD since I was 15, right? Working, with kids and things like that. And that money and that work ethic that I got me started at a young age to see that I could make money working, And I worked for NARD, camp counselor, and even inside of working for NARD at some of the schools. And I was telling someone the story earlier, and I'm going to try to see if you can help me out with this, man, because who I need to thank, an unsung hero in my life
Who's that?
is Mr. Percy Miller Sr., man. Mr. Percy Miller Sr. used to work at my high school at Reed. He was the maintenance guy at our school. And in the summertime,
You talking about P's dad?
when he had his daddy,
Yeah.
and he used to work in the summer times, and he would pay us. We would move the desk in the class, or hold the ladder for him when he had to get up there, fix the lights. Sometimes the air, the therm, this was in the 90s, early 90s, so the AC systems they had back then are not what they have today. we bring the ladder and do things like that. And he used to pay us, and he used to stay on us about that. And he was the one that told us to go down to remember the building used to be on Canal Street right by Galvez for the summer. And he used to tell us where to go and go down there and, fill out the application for the summer jobs. And we used to get the summer jobs. And then we still had our little thing to hustle and work with him, at the school. And then some of the other schools that we worked at with the summer camp, being a camp counselor with Noah with the kids, some of the custodians and maintenance people at the school, after we would finish working there at 2, 3, 4 o'clock, whenever the kids got picked up, sometimes we would help them out, and they would give us a little few dollars. You know what I'm saying? So those people, kind of got us that work ethic and, took care of us and told us where to go and kept, told us how to get jobs and stuff like that. So to see stuff like this is sad on so many levels, because now you put on one hand, you say that we need lifeguards, right?
Right.
And you say we need more lifeguards, right? Now we got these people out here protecting the children, making sure the kids are safe in the pools. You think other kids are going to want to jump in and learn how to be a lifeguard and come and work after this is the second year in a row you done this to these kids? And I hate to be like this, but this is something the leprechaun need to be focused on instead of the mayor. You so obsessed with the mayor and her personal business to the leprechaun. We don't hear you. Where you at?
Did you say the leprechaun?
Where are you? The leprechaun, man. Where you at? And we see you, you're in this other stuff, but it's like the people y'all have working internally. And what it is, y'all don't, I guess we'll call it onboarding. These are new employees you got to put in the system, right? But some of them worked for you last year. So I can see if some of the kids didn't get paid, Gerard. But if I worked for you last year, my information is still somewhere in the system in the city of New Orleans.
But my question would be, y'all didn't think about doing a dry run? And better yet,
even that,
what's the alternative? If we know that there's a possibility that this may happen again, dude, here are checks, see, Mr. CAO, and if you got the mayor's stamp, you can hit it. I don't care if she out of town or what. Here's a stamp.
But if I was a betting man, whoever was responsible for putting in the time and putting in the payroll, that's what the problem is. In New Orleans, just like the state of Louisiana, and now this cancer is growing all over this country, we have too many people that want jobs that they're not doing.
Right.
They want the title, they want the job, they want the paycheck, but the work is what? You see what I'm saying? Somebody who is responsible for this, how are you still in this position? If the same person that was responsible last year is still there now, how and why?
Right.
And
how and why?
Now we may have a crisis next year if we open up swimming pools for the kids because of the simple fact that they may not want to return because they're tired of this. And I saw the frustration on a young lady's face. I have kids. I have my own kids. I have my own life. I got to be responsible for my own well-being. And I can't be when people hire me and tell me to perform a service and then I'm not getting paid for that service.
And then, if you're a lifeguard, you got to go through all the lifeguard tests.
And I'm more than sure they had to go through training and making sure that you have to have a certification.
Yep.
You have to do CPR and all of that. And I do all of that and then work for 14, 16, 18 days, and I have $0 and 0 cents.
Yep. I'm looking forward for my money.
So I'm going to say it again. Where you at, Mr. Leprechaun? We don't hear you, man.
You got me with that one, boy. You got me.
And I hate to be like that, Gerard. But
no, you don't.
You
petty.
See what I'm saying?
You petty too.
I hate to be like that, but
you're not, because you petty too.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Because I see the condescending stuff in a condescending tone that you out here acting like y'all Johnny on the spot, and you care. But how does this keep happening? This is a problem, an internal problem. And I hate to say you can't even blame this on Larry. Larry don't process no payroll, man.
Yeah, nope.
He
listen,
he can't sign one check.
I could call Larry right now. Larry more than likely pick up the phone and be like, "Bro, I just want you to know this is not on the order."
It's not. This is money, man. This is a physical payroll internal issue, and it's sad that people will point the finger over there, making it seem like that when this is on the city council and the people who work for the city of New Orleans. It's their fault. And they're doing it to kids. So if you wonder why some of the kids may turn, I hate to say this, but I get paid for the streets faster than I could get paid for doing an honest damn job.
You're actually, this is a deterrent. This is part of the job.
It did it for me. You heard what I said, Gerard? It did it for me at 14, 15, 16, 17 years old.
Right.
It did
Keep
it
me off the streets. It did it
kept
for
me
me
working,
too.
got me involved with working with kids, led me to college, got a college degree, and 30 years later, I'm still working with kids, Gerard.
And some of the just the knowledge of who would ever thought with me that learning how to strip and wax a floor would be something that I wanted to do. And to see your work afterwards and learn what, those chemicals and learning how to do all of that. I mean, it just wasn't just swiping up the floor. I mean, you had to move all the desk out. You had to clean the windows. You had to do a whole bunch of stuff. And you see your work, and you're like, "Damn,
we did it with
that."
Mr. Percy.
Yeah,
we did it with Mr. Percy, Gerard. That's why I said, if I could find him one day, man, I got to thank him, man. I really do need to thank Mr. Percy Miller Sr. because he took us under his wing, and some of that stuff, how to wax and buff the floors and all that stuff you saying, how to change them fluorescent. You got to put those fluorescent bulbs in there a certain way to turn the light. We learned that in the summer, sometime helping out Mr. Percy.
So what do we do? What you think is the answer to all of this? I mean, I think we can all sit here and gripe, but what do you think the answer is?
What has to happen? We need new protocols, and we need somebody who's in place that's going to get the job done. These people who are getting paid, some of those people probably got paid today, Gerard, and those kids still don't have a check right now. Somebody on a city council, somebody at the city should have said, we don't care. We got to stay here till 10 o'clock tonight. Somebody going to get their paychecks.
That's what I'm thinking. I would have been like, you know what? I'm not leaving here until we get these checks printed.
Gerard,
if we
Gerard,
can't get them printed, let's go ahead and figure out how we can write them out.
And I know some of your listeners can attest to this. That happened at the Orleans Parish School Board one time. In Orleans Parish, they switched to the Oracle payroll system. Somebody listening to me remember this. The teachers didn't get paid. Some of us got a check at 9, 10, and 11 o'clock at night. And we got our checks that night. Now we was all in there mad, but the majority of us,
they got processed.
It was at night, but it was 9, 10 o'clock at night. We got a paycheck. These kids, some of them are in college. Some of them need the money. Some of them may be in summer school, college. Some of these people have kids. Some of these people have other family members in their family they're helping. Maybe it's an elder person they might be buying prescription drugs for, or cousin, sister, brother, whomever that they may help out to feed. And this how you treat them. And
I think that takes away from their, just from their motivation.
And then I'm going to land my plane on this one. Now you see why, let's say some of these individuals are in college. When they graduate from college, Gerard, you think they want to stay here and work for the city of New Orleans and service the city of New Orleans?
No.
You think they want to do anything? Let's say I might have wanted to be a police officer. If I got done like this, you think I would want to work for this? Because they same people you get paid from the city of New Orleans. You think I have encouragement to want to do something like that?
No.
And,
I know I would.
Unfortunately, somebody might go out here and do something they don't have no business doing because they're in a jam right now.
And they made me listen. I figured this out in the last time. I forgot the young man's name. We had 4 or 5 of them. That I think 2 years ago we did the interviews. I know I did 3 of them, at least 3 of them. And the young man came in and sat down. And it's an honest to God truth. The man sat down. He was talking about what he did at the school system, and not only that, but he was also a lifeguard. Had gone through all the training to get his, lifeguard certifications. And he said, a lot of folks think we just want to get our money so we can go buy tennis shoes and do stuff like that. He said, I'm trying to help my mom out.
Right.
I'm trying to make sure that we got enough money so we can pay the light bill, so we can eat some food, so she can get her medicine. Because my mom works very hard and takes care of me. She's a single mom. And I went out here and got my job, and I want my money so that I can help pay some of the bills.
Gerard, I just paid a $400 energy bill from Energy.
Ah, dang.
I just paid it $400, and I knew something when they said the little thing was coming. I knew it was coming. I just paid it.
Mm.
So imagine if they got to chip in. Is we breaking records? There's going to be record over 100 index for the next 8 days.
Yep.
Those utility bills are going to go up. Some of those people have to help out. And then if I pay my bill late, what they going to hit me with, Gerard?
Late fees, interest, and a disconnect note.
Right. And if something get disconnected, then I got to get it back on. I got to pay the bill, the late fees, plus the reconnect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
we got it, man. As the New Orleans turn.
I just don't want to hear the apology. I want to hear what went wrong.
You know what I want to hear?
And how they corrected it.
You know what I want to hear? I want to hear somebody say what Ray Nagin said. I don't want another goddamn meeting. Somebody get their ass down here and fix it.
There you go. You're right. You sure did. All right, D. Good to hear from you, my brother.
Yes,
Appreciate
yes, sir.
I'll talk to you. Have a good weekend. All right. You want to do the, let's go early. Let's go a little early because I know you got to do Norman as well. So, all right. 504-582-9422 is the number to get in contact with you. We'll take the break here. We'll come back. We'll have some more conversation and get out of here in about 17 more minutes, y'all. So make sure that you keep it locked in and get your calls in now. More coming up right here on the Reality Check.
AURN News.
I'm Ebony McMorris. After being told by a lower court that he overstepped, the Trump administration just got the green light from an appeals court to keep control of the National Guard troops deployed to Los Angeles over the objections of California Governor Gavin Newsom. In a unanimous decision, a 3-judge panel said the president likely acted lawfully when he federalized the Guard amid protests sparked by immigration raids. This marks the first time since 1965 a president has taken over a state's guard without consent from the state's governor. The court acknowledged Trump's power is not unlimited, but said the violence cited, including attacks on federal officers and property, gave the federal government a strong enough case for stepping in. Still, they noted Trump should have notified the governor. The case could set a major precedent as Trump pushes military forces into more Democratic-run cities. For these stories and more, go to AURN.com or follow me across social media at Ebony McMorris.
It's Off the Top with Norman Robinson on WBOK 1230 AM.
In a nation once proud of its democratic ideas, we now find ourselves staring down a very disturbing image, one that looks less like a thriving republic and more like a scene from a Cold War dictatorship. On the president's birthday, no less, Lord have mercy, military troops and armored vehicles were deployed on the streets of the nation's capital. In Los Angeles, similar scenes played out, with armed soldiers in battle gear patrolling a small neighborhood once protected by local law enforcement. The justification? Undefined threats, unspecified dangers, and an obvious growing tendency from the Trump White House to conflate dissent with disloyalty. Let's be clear. When a sitting American president rolls military tanks down Pennsylvania Avenue for optics, not necessity, that's not strength, it's spectacle and weakness. America is a nation founded on the right to speak, to protest, and to assemble freely, rights that are protected under the Constitution. The imagery of soldiers in any city, absent a natural disaster or declared war, sends a different message, one of intimidation, not protection. This is how democracies are eroded, not with a coup or constitutional collapse, but with slow, seemingly justifiable steps, numbing us to the military presence in civic life, a demonization of the free press, political opposition, and stoking fear over facts. Moreover, fear is being used as a political weapon under the guise of patriotism. We're being encouraged to fear immigrants, fear our neighbors, fear the ballot box, and fear each other. The foundation of freedom is not fear, but courage. With that said, we must decide what kind of America we want. One with our children growing up saluting tanks and demagogues? One with our children growing up respecting the Constitution? Democracy demands vigilance. It demands that we speak up when the lines between security and suppression begins to blur. Power belongs to the people, not the palace, and certainly not a damn parade. This is Norman Robinson off the top.
This is Monica Pierre along with Sally Ann Roberts Daybone, co-host of Your Power is On.
Tune in Sunday mornings from 7 to 8 a.m. for music that feeds the spirit. Get your Sunday on.
Right here on WBOK 1230 a.m. and WBOK1230.com, the station you listen to all day long.
Tune in to The Monitor's Mic, where we talk about oversight, policing, and you. Hosted by the Office of Independent Police Monitor. We're here to shine a light on policing issues that matter, from real-time policing updates to in-depth interviews. Every Friday at noon on WBOK.
Hi, this is Arnie Filko. Let's elevate every Tuesday through Thursday from 6 to 7 o'clock p.m. as we discuss the community, the country, and the world, from politics to current events to sports. We look forward to your input and continuing the quality programming on your community station, WBOK. Join Carrie and I every Tuesday through Thursday, 6 to 7 o'clock p.m. on Elevated Conversations, the Arnie and Carrie Show. See you soon.
People in our community are faced with a 25-year life expectancy decrease compared to the rest of New Orleans. That is unacceptable. Patients should trust Noe because we're not just physicians and nurses.
It's a family, and it's an honor and privilege to care for my neighbors, my friends, the patients here in the New Orleans East community.
Call 504-592-6600 to schedule an appointment or visit noehospital.org.
New Orleans East Hospital, now accepting new patients, now accepting you.
If someone asks,
Yeah!
let them know you listen to WBOK. Here we go! The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. I had to take a moment. I didn't do it this week, and yesterday they had the live broadcast going, so I didn't get a chance to be on the air. But I definitely wanted to take a moment before I get off to give you a story. Everybody's like, what? Oh, Lord, you about to tell a story. No. Several years ago, because I also do a lot of, and I know a lot of you don't know, but I also do a lot of television stuff, television work, television commercials, infomercials. What you said? Y'all do not want to know what he just said. But anyway, so one of my friends came up to me and she said, I need to talk to you about something. And I said, what is it? She said, I need to talk to you about something that I want to do. I've been wanting to do it for a long period of time. And everybody keeps telling me I need to talk to you about it and see if you can help me. I'm like, all right. And she said, I want to do a cooking show. I said, oh, what? She said, there are no local, this is several years ago, so don't think that I'm talking about right now. There are no chefs, black chefs, that are doing cooking shows other than the folks over at Dookie Chase. And I said, okay. I said, so what do you want to do? She said, I want to do a cooking show, and I want to do it in a 30-minute process. I said, okay. I said, we're going to have to say, hey, everybody, welcome, 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 welcome. You're going to have your preparation going. And we need to have a location where you want to do this. So we had a location on the West Bank where we shot it at, I think it was an apartment complex that had a kitchen in it in its neighborhood community place. So you had to reserve it. And she did a couple of times, and we did the shows over there. I think she had several different folks that were helping her cook that she wanted to get, in the kitchen. Attorney Tracy Washington was one of them. She also had, because I don't know if anybody if you know Tracy Washington, you know that Tracy Washington loved to cook. Oh my God, Tracy Washington could burn too. Yeah, I can tell I said so. And then you had Dr. Lawson. Dr. Lawson wanted to be in there. She could cook. So both of them would get in there in the kitchen with the chef and cook. Then we moved to the building downtown off of Poitras. It's actually the DXC building, which is where the police station is now. We did this whole different type of cooking show where she brought in all these different ladies and their men. She did like an intimate wine and cooking and all that different. And she cooked everything right then and there. And it was within the 30 minutes of the program. And I thought she was so unique. And then with her program coming, on the air on Channel 54 every week, she was also out here catering and working for one of the school systems. I think it was one of the school systems. So she was doing a whole lot. And I told her, I said, you need to slow down. I used to go over her house on Saturdays and watch the program with her mom, and her dad. It broke my heart to hear that Chef Fab, Wendy Weber, with all the talent that young lady has, and everybody knows Chef Fab. Oh boy, everybody knows that she's a great person and Chef can cook her butt off. But she didn't feel good like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And so she got up and she went to the doctor. And the doctor told her that she had a heart attack and didn't know that she had had a heart attack. And said that she was going back to have heart surgery, a bypass. And before she could get in to have that date of the bypass, I think her heart got worse, but when she had it, she actually passed. She passed on the table. Man. Life is short, y'all. Life is short. Her funeral is on tomorrow. So I'm more than likely going to have to go and see my friend. And to her family, just know she's in a better place. Rest in heaven. Wendy Weber, better known as Chef Fab, y'all. That's my girl. That's going to wrap things up for me. I appreciate everybody for being a part of the program on today. We will see you on Monday. Dr. Shepard's going to be here. We're going to make sure we get down to the nitty gritty. Y'all have a great rest of the weekend and be safe. Talk to you later.